This is a very, very safe space. So the more you are going to be yourself, the more you benefit out of this workshop. Just a confirmation, ma'am, Sendil Vadivu, ma'am, are you able to see the screen in present mode?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, your
Okay,
video is
okay,
visible and screen is also visible.
okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah. So, once again, I'll just go over the quick rules. I insist you all to have a pen and paper with you because the experience when you're writing something is totally different when you're trying to jot down the same things in gadgets. This is the reason why I asked these instructions to be presented. Another thing is I again insist that this is a very safe space. We can be ourselves here. And that's like a pledge we take before we are walking through this experience. And finally, I encourage you all to come out on video and talk to us where we can be interactive to share our experiences, which will make it even more fruitful. Okay, now the objective what we want to achieve today, we are going to use this beautifully devised workshop, which was known as the I Am Remarkable workshop, which is devised by the employees of Google themselves. What exactly it is? Throughout this workshop, which we'll be going through is, I'll walk you through the workshop purpose and what it talks about and the research which went behind this workshop. Then we have a few workshop exercises, which is like the tools which this entire program has devised for us. That is where we will mostly be writing a lot. And finally, I open the floor for discussion. What was this workshop, first place? This workshop, the I Am Remarkable workshop, was a Google initiative which empowers everybody, particularly the underrepresented groups. When we say underrepresented groups, okay, I encourage you all to be interactive, but please mute yourselves when you all are not speaking. Thank you. Yeah. Can you please go on mute, please? And unmute yourselves only when you all are having
Yes,
your
ma'am,
turn
I
to
have
speak.
done. Ma'am, I have done now. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah. When we say underrepresented groups, what happens is we have a perception. The perception is usually around maybe the gender they come from, or the race they have, or the backgrounds, the economic backgrounds, the social backgrounds, and so on. Let's see a little more into this in our coming slides. But the objective was to mainly call upon these underrepresented groups who find it difficult to talk about, to celebrate their achievements, especially in their professional places, the workplaces. Many times we just struggle like, everywhere. Many times, even in our personal life, even with families. So during this workshop, what we'll be doing is we'll try and understand the importance of celebrating our accomplishments by way of self-promotion in both the personal and the professional life. And we look at a few tools which will help us develop this skill. This was a workshop which was developed in the year 2016. It is the founder, and what was developed as a workshop, as an exercise within a small group of people by two amazing women leaders in Google. Incidentally, both of them were called Anna Weiner and Anna Zapasor-Shani. What they realized was, to be frank with you, what they realized was they felt it was the women within their groups who found it very difficult to talk about what they have achieved and probably rise up in the ladder of their personal lives, professional lives, in their careers, and everywhere. They were struggling. So they devised this as an exercise with a group of friends who were struggling on some similar perceptions. But what they realized over the days, months, and years to come was it was not just the women, it is everybody. So that's the reason this became an initiative. It became a movement where it is now empowering and aiming at touching everybody's life. What does this initiative aim to? Well, like I've been telling before, the objective of this entire movement, this initiative, is to encourage the sections of society, whether they are underrepresented in whatever various forms, by way of developing their self-confidence and competence in using some of these tools for self-promotion. And at the same time, enabling them to challenge the perceptions which is around self-promotion. When I say challenge the perceptions of self-promotion, it's, I mean, let me throw some more light on this. I believe most of us here are from the Indian plethora, so right? So studies have found that Asian and especially South Asian communities or race or people from these regions, they are so overwhelmed by modesty that we do not really talk about our achievements. We wait for our achievements to be recognized by itself. Yes, I understand you do your work sincerely and allow for the results to unfold is what we have been raised. But for the results to unfold also, we just need to raise it and show. We need to tell it. Friends, personal experience over here, you know. Honestly, whenever I try to do these workshops with young people, with college students, with my colleagues in the office, I love spinning stories. So when you start spinning stories, when you tell your own stories, you are able to connect to the audience, and the audience also starts to feel, yes, I've been through that. I have also been somewhere there. Or you might even know of another friend who has experienced that. So it helps you relate to what I'm telling. There have been many years when you must surely be knowing we all go through this annual performance reviews and all that. What happened was my initial managers were somebody who, especially when in my younger days of career, you know, so it's like you were just fresh out of college or something. So maybe because I was new to it, I had very supportive managers who would do the annual review for me themselves. So it kind of became easy. But then life's not the same always, right? So 2 or 3 years down the lane, my manager changed. And then I had this very tough manager. And I expected something on the similar lines to go because I just thought, okay, I have done all these things this whole year. And okay, the manager will know. And, you know, in the due course is how your evaluation will be done, or my appraisal will go through and all that. But the story was not the same. This manager presented a different case to me. And trust me, the person who was at loss was me, because I was not equipped to present what all I have achieved in the past year in a very confident manner. So eventually what happened was I really lost the due appraisal, which I felt I was entitled for. So I'm sure very similar cases like this, even you all will be able to relate to. So folks, throughout this entire an hour and this entire 90 minutes experience, I invite you all to keep going back into your life incidents, visualize them, give those flash moments back to your mind, refresh it, both the pleasant, unpleasant, the good, the bad, everything. It's like revisit your past few years and relate to the concepts, the incidents which I'm going to try and walk you through in this journey. Well, the kind of modest backgrounds we come from, like I said, it's very easy for all of us here to brand anything we are talking about, especially if it is our achievements, to say, okay, she's boasting, she's bragging. So what if she did? But friends, trust me, I think these are words you need to etch and you need to tell yourself often, maybe even take a cutout of it and put it on your desk. It's not bragging if it's based on facts. If I have done so many things, these things, I have proof for it. I have the data for it. So then why will it become bragging? It's not bragging. Here I want to give you a few scenarios. You know, if you are somebody who tries to understand people from different regions, okay, fortunately I've had the chance to work with the people from different regions. You will see that the Western population, especially the American population, they are very comfortable talking about even the slightest of their achievements. And mostly, even people over there are very generous in giving compliments or even recognizing what somebody does because they look at every small thing as an achievement. You know, there people, even if you say this weekend I'm going to clear up my plot and probably I'm going to plant a couple of plants, plant a few flower trees there or something like that, they call it as a project. They look at it as a project. Every activity, they look at it as a project. Every single activity, they break it down into an experience, right? So maybe there are communities where we say, okay, that is like tooting your own horn, right? So Westerners are many times known for what they speak as tooting their own horn. But trust me, it's not tooting your own horn if it's based on what you have done. Yeah, of course, if you speak more than what you've done or something really unrealistic, that's when it starts becoming bragging. But as a community, as a society, we have never understood the difference, this subtlety between boasting and not boasting. And the minute we talk about our achievements, we just simply brand it like, okay, it's bragging. And we have this, especially the Asian communities, Indian communities. I might have done so many achievements, but we don't speak because we think, okay, what if somebody perceives me like this? We go in that web of what somebody else is going to perceive me because of this, right? So what's happening is we are going into that our own web of unnecessary implications here. So mark my words, it's not bragging if it's based on facts. Why it's not so is simply because, like I said, accomplishments do not speak for themselves, right? It might, yes, you did all these things. You did all these X things, Y things. You might be the first graduate from your family. You might be the first postgraduate from your family. You might be a first PhD from your family. I am quoting, I have friends, I'm trying to quote examples because I believe most of them in this cohort here is from the academia. So I try to relate to my audience and give citations and examples which are easily relatable to them. Now, unless it is told, unless it is known, I'm sure people will not know about it, right? You might have seen, right, this beautiful concept of in our invitations, in our wedding cards, people write their name and they even put what is their qualification. We might think, okay, why are they going around telling what these people have done? But it gives a sense of, let's look at it this way. It gives a sense of pride to you, and you might even want to walk the extra mile when you start pondering over what your achievements are. Moreover, why would you not do this is because what happens if you do not speak for your accomplishments? Well, in a group, in your professional circles, in your academic circles, if you do not speak for your accomplishments and if you do not come up and talk, you will definitely risk falling behind peers who are already practicing it, right? So let's take a case of like, there are so many assignments which are usually put forth in in your company, in your organization, or in your workplace. You might be a very worthy candidate who is capable of taking that task and doing it really well, probably better than anybody else. You to know it, and probably even the organization knows it. But what happens is, if you do not volunteer, if you do not come up and seek and talk that, see, I have done these things in the past. I think I'm capable of doing this forthcoming assignment, this project. So allow me to do it, please. I would like to take that opportunity. Unless you do not tell that, the company may even perceive that, okay, probably you're overwhelmed with other tasks. You're not in a position to now take up this new project. So even they might ignore you. What happens then is, somebody who may not be so competitive as you, so capable as you to run it, but maybe competent enough to take up the challenge. And if they come up and seek, it's a lost opportunity for you, right? Yeah, like I said, I have been in I have been a person who was mostly always coding and very desk-like job. And what happens is, mostly people also end up perceiving you like that if you're a software engineer, right? And I'm in a product-based industry, and the sad part about the product-based industry, of course, there are things are changing since 2 years. Is we have a very skewed ratio of the gender parity over there. So there have been times when I joined the organization way back in 2008, and the team size was 38, and I was the only woman there. So more often than not, whenever assignments had to be done, people used to think that, okay, she might be uncomfortable taking up this task because everybody are so many peers. So for a long time, I was doing tasks only what is meant to be done, which is the job requirement, the job description, whatever was the JD. But I was somebody who would want to do a little more, walk that extra mile, go forward. So in a way, I myself allowed people to perceive me in a certain manner. But then I had to change this course. So that's when a given particular came, when we had to partner with a company which is in Vietnam. So what is happening is, there are many challenges over there. First and foremost thing is, they were going to be our work contractors, and what was going to happen is, we had to train them, and the training was going to be a rigorous process of some 3 months, where we train them entirely of our work culture, our nature of our processes, our tools, and even the code base. And the biggest challenge there was, they have a communication gap. In that entire team, there were just like about 2 people who could even converse with basic English, and they were actually using translators to even understand what I was speaking, and they were using translators to type something in their language and tell it back to me. So this challenge came up, and what happened was, of course, when you take up something extra, your current work doesn't get reduced, right? So you have to do your job plus do that as an extra mile thing. I saw an opportunity here. I volunteered and I said, okay, I'm up for this. I'm ready to take. Friends, I'm talking about way back in 2013-14, when we did not have so many different tools which was helping in virtual communication and all that. It was really difficult. I was actually doing it via phone call. And sometimes if the phone line went or something, I had to switch over to my phone, place a conference call. It was a really difficult task, trust me. I want that extra mile. And what happened? And of course, to prove that, I said, see, give me a chance. They were actually having doubts. Will I be able to do? Then after I did, it was like, it opened a new opportunity for me. People started perceiving me as, okay, so she's having even people management skills. Let's look at her in that angle as well. So wherever these communication channels had to be open, And I started becoming like this licensing officer between Vietnam group and us. Slowly, I started spending more time understanding their culture, understanding the way they speak or what is their work timing. And I molded my way of working to suit them, make them feel comfortable. So now it's been almost over 1.5 years. I'm not working with them. I worked with them for almost 7 years, but later I moved to a different project. But I still share a very warm relationship and a camaraderie with the team which I was working before. So this is a clear case of self-promotion mattered. I went, I spoke up, I sought it, I wanted to take it. Yes, the only advantage here I had was most people didn't want to take it. But yes, it opened new doors to me. This is a very, very interesting fact which some researchers have actually provided and proved it too. And maybe we look back, even we too feel so. Both men and women do not like women promoting themselves, right? Possibly, right? Possibly, right? And it's very easy for both of them to brand women who are actually talking about their achievements. We even go a couple of more steps beyond by calling names to them or I mean, I'm not trying to sound feminist or something here, but you know, we might go a few more steps where we say, if we do not talk of themselves, we are perceived meek, the women is perceived weak. If they're speaking a little more, the women is perceived like, you know, okay, probably arrogant. So these are the kind of barriers we are attempting to break today in this workshop. Okay, the next thing which I would like to throw a little bit is about probably bias. When I say bias, it could be both conscious bias and unconscious bias. The case of my experience, which I told you, right, you know, because I was probably the sole woman for a long time, many of my team members or my managers wouldn't give me certain opportunities, thinking maybe it was making me uncomfortable, or they were thinking probably I could not do. That's a clear case of unconscious bias. What it is you need to provide the opportunity. You need to offer the opportunity. Acceptance or not acceptance of that opportunity is a different thing. But then going with a preconceived notion already is what we call as unconscious bias. But apart from that, conscious bias, I think all of you surely know. Now, when I say these bias, how do bias, or rather, how do we categorize them? The bias could happen by way of race or the gender, maybe even age and the skill set they come from, or even identity-based stereotypes. Let's take a quick exercise here, friends. I'll call out a few professions, and maybe if you know the names of people in that profession, or even if you don't know, just, you know, give a flash of them in front of you. First one, nurse. Second, firefighter. Third one, a pilot. Fourth, farmer. Fifth one, a policeman. Okay, so friends, when we look back, okay, I know the audience is really large. What exactly happened when I said nurse? Did you perceive a male there or a female there? Maybe you can just quickly type on the chat box. Okay.
Female, ma'am.
See, that's what happened. What about a firefighter? Anybody? How did you imagine them?
Male, ma'am.
Male. Okay. Pilot?
Of course, male, but there are some female pilots out there.
Okay. A farmer?
farmer, both.
Okay, okay, okay. So,
Policeman, policeman also male, ma'am. I thought of
male.
male. Okay.
Yeah. So you're seeing where I'm trying to go, right? Right? That immediate flash. I welcome you all to take this exercise, even if you have young kids in your home, because we need to break these gender barriers. You know, there is a very strong movement which is running where we even want to remove the gender out of the profession. I said policemen, if you observe. There is a strong movement and it is happening now where it's not police men anymore, it's a police officer. We know there are a lot of male nurses doing amazing jobs. Okay. If you know, there is this very beautiful charity organization which is called Mercy Ships. Uh, Mercy Ships is an organization where it's a floating vessel, it's a ship which is a hospital, and they are actually traveling across the world, and especially the third world countries, African countries, where it's very difficult to provide medical help to them. And I was amazed to see their fleet. And trust me, they had so many capable men who were nurse over there. Firefighters. See, maybe these will be off-beaten paths, but that gender stereotype is easily broken already. I see of so many women taking to agriculture these days, and especially the organic farming space and all that. But yet our perception is still not changing. So this is the kind of barriers, friend, which I am encouraging you all to break. Start observing how you all are speaking. I consciously said policeman today, okay? But I have changed. I say police officers. If you see, we say chairmen, but it is now going to become chairperson. Okay. There is no thing called, if you observe, if somebody is a CEO and if the CEO is a female, we immediately identify them as female CEO. Indira Nooyi was always called as female CEO of PepsiCo. We do not say the same thing about Bill Gates, right? We never said Bill Gates is male CEO of Microsoft. We never told that, right? So this is the kind of stereotype let's break unconsciously. Very recently, what happened was in my organization, I was going through some process documents for my own learning. And I observed that there in that process document, they were actually describing the roles and responsibilities of different people. Okay. Project manager, then business line manager, product line manager. Whoa. Every time when they were explaining the roles and responsibility of this person, it was always he. There was no she. And I'm a product line manager here who is a she, right? So we now start welcoming you. I did take it up, and now the process document, actually the process document goes through an annual review. So I was now able to bring in an intermediate change to that. So that's a very proud achievement for me. So yeah, friends, here I am not bragging because that has data with me. Okay. So this is the kind of things I'm talking about. So watch what we are talking. I encourage you all to start talking gender neutral pronouns. Instead of saying he or she, start using they, right? When you say, when somebody had to describe what is the project manager's duties, you can always say they are meant to do this. Instead of saying he is meant to do this or she is meant to do this, right? You might even see in most documents, this he/she is missing more often than not. So start making these small choices. Start making these small changes. And trust me, friends, these are all ripple effects. So when you do it, people around you observe it, say to adapt it. Maybe the next generation which is coming up will not even see any of these biases. So that's the kind of thing which I'm hoping. I spoke a little bit about gender bias, but then let me throw some light even on other things. Race. Since most of us are coming from the Indian diaspora, we know that we associate certain professions with certain communities, people coming from certain backgrounds, right? Um, uh, 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 we invariably perceive that if it is the army, if it's the defense, people from the Sikh community are very good with that. We already say they are very good with that. But there are a lot of other people too, right? So I'm just giving a example over here. But I'm sure you'll have known all of these in your personal experiences. Unconscious bias based on ability. So that's the very classic case of what I had experienced. They had simply felt probably I'm not able enough to take up that assignment. Simply, it's already assumed without even giving me the chance, right? Next, age-based unconscious bias. This usually happens both ways. Like I am now, for example, in a team where all my peers are people who are having at least an average of 35 years of experience. And many times I'm very intimidated in that group. Okay. And I have always been perceived as they are young to do this. And many times I'm even well protected. I wouldn't say shadowed here. I'm very well protected. I mean, with due respect to all the seniors in my team. Although I ask for some challenging assignments, they're like, it's okay, you don't take the trouble. We'll take care of this. You do this. So that's what happens over here. So probably there it's an unknowing, unconscious bias based upon my age. One of the colleagues even commented, okay, you're too young for a PLM. You have a very long way to go. So, oh my God, what is that happening? And I have this one colleague whose experience is as many number of the years as my age. So then you can imagine, the kind of conversations sometimes which goes here, because they have a certain way of doing something and the people who are a little younger have a certain way of doing things. So friends, it's just not that case. It's even the other way. When I look at it from even the other person, going into the other person's shoes, okay? I had enrolled for this. We see that, right? We enroll for certain courses, and like for example, let's take the case of this MBA group, which pass out of IIM. I love reading those statistics, okay? And the statistics they present is all data. Just take some of their report of the pass outs and see. They present data so beautifully. Their data is based upon age. Their data is based upon the sectors they come from or the representations they have. Their data is based upon the CAT score. You name it and they have the data. The graphs are so beautiful, those pie charts to see all that. I have seen, especially when it comes to the age sector, there is a large amount of people who come from this age group of 25 to 30 something, because they're usually people from the 2+ years experience, 3+ years experience. Very, very marginal percentage. Some classes have had just 2% people 50+ above in their age. I just put myself in the shoes of those candidates and I visualize the class in my mind. I can imagine what they could be going through, the peer group which they will be happening. And it's very easy for the rest of the peer group to say, probably this is not meant for them, right? So these are kind of the unknowing biases, implicit biases, which all of us are experiencing. So let's not evaluate somebody based upon preconceived notions, which is going to lead to unconscious biases. Maybe I spent a lot of time on this slide, but this is a topic which, how much ever you speak or you realize, is not sufficient. The objective here, friends, is to just maybe share my experiences to you so that it can be something like an eye-opener. All of us have done it, okay? All of us have done it. We have been there, we have done it, been there, done it, no doubt. Slowly, let's change our mindset, bring in a different phase shift. And when we do that is when we pass it on to even our next generation, our children, our grandchildren, our peers, everybody, right? So we have that very beautiful statement, no, boys don't cry, right? Or boys like pink, blue, and girls like pink. This is all already unknowingly we are bringing in that perception. We are bringing these stereotypes. Okay, a lot of research is being done here, and a lot of changes are also being done here. If you see, even the animated movies now are a lot different. For example, let me give the case of okay, I have two young kids, so I'm really compelled to have a diet of animation movies. So no doubt about it. Let's take the case of the movie called Brave, that movie called Moana. So all of these had the girls as their heroes over there in those movies, which was bringing out the best. And especially in the movie, in these two movies, they were breaking barrier stereotypes over here. These are beautiful movies you need to watch, or maybe even Zootopia. Zootopia is another beautiful movie, friends. I recommend all of you all to watch. Here, they they break barriers not just in the terms of gender, but even in terms of age and ability and the race. Everything is covered there. I don't know how many of you have watched it. It's this young, very capable female rabbit who wants to become a police officer. But the police officer, Zootopia is a land where all the animals are already evolved and, they have a life of their own. I encourage all of you all to watch this movie sometime. So when she joins this police force, the police force is already having only the elephants and the bulls as the officers over there. So she's too small in size. She has a gender difference from the rest. She's probably the only female officer there. And the race she comes from, she represents the rodent community and not the predator community or the the cattle community over there. And of course, she was even biased on ability. Everything taken care in one movie. It's a beautiful movie you should watch, which is trying to address so many issues over there. Okay, I think I'll just go on if you don't copy. So let me just move to the next slide. Furthermore, when you just go and check with any of these underrepresented communities, go sit beside them and tap on their back and ask them. They will have a lot of experiences to share with you, my friends, no doubt. Yeah, when I say underrepresented communities, let me throw a little more light here. All of you all would have already now been imagining in terms of first and foremost gender, women, then race, then community. But I just try to help you with a little more broadening of the horizon by saying ability and age. Now let's add a few more things to it. Have you just tried to be a left-handed person sometime? Okay. And especially in the Indian community, we do not have, the Indian community has a smaller percentage of left-handed persons. The Western community has almost 50% of them are left-handed persons. Why I'm trying to say this is, if you just ponder over the difficulties of theirs on a day-to-day basis, they have a difficulty in the school benches where they're sitting, Maybe now in many schools it's evolved. They have an individual desk and chair, so it's fine. I'm talking about like my times, okay? My friend was this left-handed person. So her arm would always bang into me. What we could have done then, We could have just been a little more compassionate and empathetic and probably given her the corner where she has more room to stretch her hand, right? Have you observed how difficult they find it with a pair of scissors? None of the scissors is, comfortable for a left-handed person. But there are these devices, tools, which are designed for the left-handed community alone. Let's take the case of mouse. Our mouse is not very easily compatible to left-handed person. So when you start looking at these, they are an underrepresented group in a class which has a lot of them who are right-handed persons. So that's why I'm just trying to tell you, underrepresented group doesn't mean only this. It means various facets. Another very beautiful topic which is very close to me is vegetarianism or veganism, you know. More often than not, the rest of them are all non-vegetarian groups. So when you go for a lunch or a dinner out or something, just be a little compassionate to them. That's all they ask for. That's all, right? Maybe in the choice of the restaurants you're booking for your colleagues, or in the or being inclusive in ensuring what kind of food is being served there, and things like that. You know, what happens is it is easily assumed, and some of them even go to the extent of saying, so what, just take the meat piece away and eat the rest. Oh, well, that's not the case, right? So what we are trying to say is, I read in an article, you know, even in India now, the vegetarian population has reduced to 2% of the entire thing. And definitely the global population is on a marginalized way. But the Western world is now opening up to it and providing a lot more options. Like, for example, for them, in any soup you put, it's always a chicken stock. So now they have moved on from that. And I read articles where McD and Burger King are coming with more options to cater to the vegan community and cater to the vegetarian community. So this is an action we ask to call for, where even the underrepresented community is represented well. And that's an inclusive society we are trying to build over there, right? So that's a very beautiful example. So I'm sure you'll have experienced such cases, and especially if you're a vegan or especially if you're a vegetarian, sometimes you even go out to some of those lunch streets and all you find is you never had any option to eat there. You come back home and probably if you're already tired, you might just have to make a pack of noodles for yourself, you know. I've been there, so friends, so that's why I'm able to tell it. Okay. Yeah, it's just apart. Another topic which kind of brings in a lot of barrier within us is language, and especially in workplaces where you go to, and if suppose you are not from that first language. Why I'm trying to make this generic statement is, we all come from different backgrounds, especially in India. Many people, we are struggling still with English, communicative English, spoken English, written English, everything, right? And we also see, like, say, take the case of workplaces and in college, everywhere. As much as language is binding you and making you find friends, I encourage you to start working with people from different language barriers, different languages. You learn a lot. You learn of their culture. You learn of their studies have proven if you have friends from multi-language, their analytical and reasoning skills and their IQ is 2 points or 3 points more than people who are moving with monolanguages. And this study is taking a rapid research, especially in countries where, if you might see, most countries it's only English. For them, it's not even another language which they have, like French or something like that. So why I made that generic statement was, probably if you go to France, the first language there itself is French. It's not even English. So there you become an underrepresented group very easily. Not just finding difficulty in all these, but there is a way people even try to perceive them, hurt them. And especially in India, when we are coming from different vernacular backgrounds, we have a certain way of pronouncing certain words. We have a certain accent of pronouncing certain words. So these kind of things have done a lot of harm than good. If you see, if you're people who watch a lot of English movies and all that, they usually stereotype all the Afro-Americans with a certain dialect of speaking, the choice of words, right? And at the same time, there is a way in which the Irish speak, the Welsh speak, or the Spanish people speak. They have a Mexican flavor to what they are speaking, the Spanish, the Portuguese, and all these regions. So by way of accent, we already stereotype them. We already assume which region they come from. Sometimes, many times, they even are subjected to ridicule and furthermore even harassment. So this is kind of a bias and a barrier which we should consciously attempt to not do. All this while what I was speaking, if you put everything in one petri dish and mix, what is it? It's simply nothing but diversity. We are just asking us to be a community as one, irrespective of the language we come from or the race we come from, whom we represent, the identity we come from, whether we are Asian, Indian, South Asian, or Western, Japanese, Slovakian, whatever it is, whatever it is. So we are just trying to bring in this diversity. Now, what does this diversity do? Studies have proven that this diversity has helped in providing a greater performance in the companies by more than 53% against the companies which do not have any women board directors at all. And eventually, there has been 35% higher financial returns when the company has been inclusive with respect to the racial and ethnicity. We read of all these articles, so like Google or Facebook or all of these, they are supporting these communities, especially the Indian diaspora. They have benefited a lot because the Indians who are going there, they come from a certain learning background, a talent pool. They represent a talent pool. Just imagine if Facebook or Google or Apple or anybody were biased to the Indian community, they wouldn't be where they are today, right? Okay, as much as we saw what goes up, let's even look at what goes down. Lack of such kind of inclusion has had really very large impact. It is proven that 47% of the underrepresented group from the LGBTQI plus employees, they definitely are experiencing discrimination at work. There is a total annual cost of $64 billion if the companies had to replace people based on discrimination. Just friends, just understand, replacing a candidate is not so easy. There is so much involved in it, you know. There is a talent acquisition team who's scouting for talent. There is rounds of interviews done. There is a selection process going. So it involves both the hiring team, the hiring manager, the talent pool, the talent acquisition team. So many people are doing so many backgrounds. After you hire, say if the person quits for the reason of discrimination, all the effort and the amount of money which was invested has gone to the drains. So here, the person who is quitting shouldn't be quitting for the sake of discrimination at the least. Replacing such employee with another candidate has definitely costed a heavy sum to the companies. Wow, what a journey it was. With this, friends, I am coming to the end of my presentation where I have presented a lot of data, facts, some personal experiences, some generic facts. Now I call upon you for a beautiful individual exercise, which we will be doing it together. For this exercise, I ask you to equip yourself with pen and paper, pencil and paper, whatever, a writing tool. Mind you, no using gadgets, no taking down these points in your laptop or in your phones or pads or anything like that. There is a reason. I'll come to that. I would want you to write. So please make the statement. I am remarkable because professionally and then personally. I invite you to walk down your memory lane of your life and just start writing points which you think is going to make you feel remarkable about yourself. It could be anything, both personally and professionally. Here, I will take a timeout of 10 minutes at this minute. So the time now is 12:26. Okay, we'll just give a grace of 4 more minutes, and I think we'll join back at 12:40 sharp, where we'll go through the next step. So I hope I'm clear. I am remarkable because, friends, allow yourself to be your authentic best. Become vulnerable, visit yourself, take these 10 complete minutes to yourself, be present and visit what you're writing. I know this is not easy. I have been there, I have done it. So if I have to just give a very simple case, I will give you more cases about my own experience, how I would frame this sentence. But as a starter, I am remarkable professionally because I was the first professional graduate in my family where I joined a software company with absolutely no backing or no one to even guide me through joining as a software engineer, sustaining there for over 15 years and rising up the ladder. And now I'm remarkable because although I had been in a research and development position, always doing software development, I suddenly took the plunge of working on business development, which is an unknown ocean to me. I hope my statement helps. So even personally, I would like you to start visiting this and take this exercise. Sendil Vadivu ma'am, here we are going to break for 10 minutes where all the candidates are expected to go through this exercise. We are going to come back at 12:40 ma'am. Maybe you can mute everybody's mics and video at this time. So we'll go to the next case at 12:40 sharp. Okay, ma'am? Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So we break for 10 minutes here, ma'am. So at 12:40, I come back.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, anybody has any difficulty, probably they can drop something on the chat box if they need to, right? So friends, use this complete 10 minutes to answer this question. Write it very clearly in the paper. I am remarkable professionally because, and start noting your points. Another thing will be, I am remarkable personally because, and start noting it down. Use this complete 10 minutes for your personal journey. Stay with me. Okay. It's 12:40 here on my time. Okay. And we are back, ma'am. Am I clearly audible, ma'am? And am I visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Your
Okay.
video is
Okay.
visible.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the confirmation. Okay, friends. Uh, I'm guessing and hoping all of you had actually a wonderful experience taking up this exercise, writing down what you are feeling or what you went through. Um, 1 minute. I'm not in the present mode, right? Okay. Next stop after this individual exercise will be, let's take a journey of what exactly happened in this past 10 minutes. Okay. Oh, okay. Now I call upon a few volunteers where we will be spending the next 15 odd minutes, about 15 minutes, where we try and share this thing which we wrote. I know it's difficult. Trust me, friends, I have been there and done it when I attended this workshop first. Uh, First and foremost, it was very difficult for me to write. When I looked back and I felt I had done nothing. And more so, I was in one of, we all have no this good days, bad days, and incidentally, that was one of the days where I was not in a good, it was not my good day either. So when I sat to write, I felt, okay, what's the big deal about this 10 minutes? And I actually didn't write. And when I was writing, I was just writing almost nothing. My hand was not moving. So that's why while I'm talking to you, even I was writing. I'm doing it even now. I do it even now. So I call upon a few volunteers who will be gracious enough to share what they wrote. And uh, you might have written a lot of points. So please choose one point for I am remarkable professionally because, and I am remarkable personally because, and let's give ourselves about 1 minute time. So where's our volunteer? So if I have to give you a recap, I spoke to you about I am remarkable professionally because, and I wrote, and what I wrote, I told. Um, well, if I have to tell you about I am remarkable personally because um, very recently I have had a terrible tough time with even my mental well-being. So I identified it, I worked upon it, and now I am a much more different person. I am remarkable because I am a person who thought to my mental well-being and acted upon it. Okay. You're remarkable. The reason for you to be remarkable need not be something very catastrophic, okay, or may not be something very magnificent. It can be as simple as I'm remarkable because I'm a very doting parent. I'm an adorable parent. I'm a very loving son. I am a very compassionate partner to my spouse. It can be anything, but just I want you to speak. Who's going to be my first volunteer? And when it, and the volunteers, see, this is a very interactive session, volunteers, and I actually love doing this workshop in person. So the magic it creates there is totally different. People walk out with a different perception about themselves when they walk out of this one. I'm trying my best to give the same experience here. So it'll be lovely to have you on video and see you when you're trying to share the experience. Can I have my first volunteer, please? Maybe you can just tell your name and tell these two statements. Let's give each of us about a minute for the case of to say within the time and finish this. My first volunteer, please.
Dear participants, you can unmute your mic and you can.
I'm seeing Sudha ma'am already on screen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Welcome, Sudha ma'am. Welcome, Sudha
Yes.
ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, we would have thought of that. What to say? We would have thought of only technical oriented presentation like what we had attended for the first 4 days, but it's very different and really we won't expect this session. It's very nice, ma'am. And this
Thank you,
particular
ma'am.
session, I think it adds some more value to this workshop. This
Thank
is my
you, ma'am.
personal view, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having such a nice and very different presentation. Also, you are also promoting us to express and you are making us to show how I am remarkable. This is very
Very
new to us. Very new to us also. So I am very remarkable because I'm first person from my family doing PhD, and and also this I got a very good feedback from my students, and I think only one reason I have to say, okay, so that just enough with that. And personally in my family I'm very remarkable because my son used to love me a lot. So that thing
He still loves you, ma'am. He still loves you, so that is present tense.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, of course. So I think
Wonderful.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes, ma'am. Of
Thank
course,
you so
wherever
much.
Sudha ma'am goes, everyone will love her. Of course, it happens because of her character.
Oh,
Yeah.
not like that, ma'am. Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying, now you have more reasons to add to why you are remarkable. So your list goes on. So please add this too in that list, Ma'am,
Yes.
I would love to have all of us sharing everything which we wrote in that 10 minutes, but it's just for want of time, we just want to have as many experiences as possible to be shared in this room. So I will, in my next slides, I will even talk about what we are going to do next. So there you will see more reasons how you can develop this. Thank you so much, Sudha ma'am, for being that sportive first volunteer. It's my
we
pleasure
have to thank
have
a lot, ma'am. We have to thank a lot to the coordinator Narendran sir, as well as to the to Sendil Vadivu even. She is providing endless support to this
remarkable person there.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
Okay,
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Oh, wow, lovely. The environment is already coming up. So this is the beauty of this workshop. It's a two-part workshop where the first part we talk about all the analysis, the research, the data which is going there. And the second part of the workshop, which is after your exercise, the environment is totally different. Wow, thank you so much, Sudha ma'am, for being that first volunteer. Next up, can I have somebody to share their experience, please?
Geeta ma'am, I have message in chat. She had volunteered herself. I think.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Geeta. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. One second.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Dr. Geeta. Thank you for coming even on the video. Lovely to see you.
Thank you, ma'am, for allow us to share such kind of experience among the participants and you also. I'm sharing my experience. Just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah. No problem, ma'am. You're visible. It's not a problem. You're visible. You're totally visible.
Yes,
yeah.
Ma'am, I am remarkable professionally and as well as personally because I have only first girl child to completed ISc in science, and then after I have completed engineering, then masters in CSE, then PhD in computer science and engineering. And in my friends group, I am only the one of the friend teaching in the engineering college as an associate professor. And I am remarkable personally in my personal life because I have a happy family I always try to
Wow.
coordinate my family member to
Truly,
be
truly.
connected with each other. And I always try to frequently talk to my other family members who shifted from my house to his her own house. And I am closely attached to my friends. My friends and relatives are very comfortable to share any kind of problem as well as happiness of his her life among me. I always tell truth or actual fact to one another. That's why everyone near me rely on me. I always help needy people who want any kind of help from my side as much as possible. And I am very social. I believe in socialism. Because of that, when I need any kind of help, every people and every person wants to help me. That's the some points I have think between 10 minutes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Geeta ma'am, for being yourself. I can truly see how much you are like that core of your family and how much you are that life in your friends. And I can see what all this achievements has evolved you as a person. So thank you so much for sharing your experience with me. Yeah. Wow,
Welcome, ma'am.
friends, we had another very, very beautiful, amazing personality as a volunteer. Can I have one more, please? I saw two of them coming on video, but before I could even register their names in the mind, I couldn't see them. Was it
Diana, ma'am.
Diana? Yeah, Diana. Yeah, I saw Diana. Yeah,
Diana.
yeah. Hello, Diana.
Ma'am, you can unmute your video and mic.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you were telling me because I was already on video. Yeah, okay.
Diana, ma'am, you are available?
There was also one gentleman, one sir who came
Yes,
and who
one
went.
sir came.
Maybe we can go to him and
Mahindran
come
sir.
back to that.
Mahindran sir, I think, ma'am, but
Thank you.
we can see for other volunteers also.
Yes,
Dear
please, please.
participants, volunteer yourself to share your thoughts about
Friends,
yourself.
this is a very safe space. As much as what we are going to talk about, everything which are happening, I'm sure all of us will keep it here. So it's for us. So we are going to speak up for yourself. Did you just see the energy which was on Sudha ma'am's face or Geeta ma'am's face when they're talking about their achievements or their accomplishments? It's so bright. So that's the magic it is creating for themselves. So I invite you all to create the same magic for yourself. So please speak up. If you cannot turn on your video, that's okay. Maybe you can just unmute yourself, talk. I can already feel the energy and the vibe. So not a problem. I see some hands raised, ma'am.
Yes, that is Mahindran sir, but now he is not available. And I saw Diana ma'am's video, but now she is also not available. So any other volunteers?
Maybe we can have about 3 or 4 more volunteers. Sendil ma'am, how did you feel? Maybe you would want to share your experience with us.
Ma'am, already we have met in that workshop.
Yeah.
Good afternoon,
so
madam.
just to help people, can I have Diana back, please?
This is Kalpana Devi, madam. This is Kalpana Devi.
Yeah, ma'am, you
Hello,
can
ma'am.
proceed.
Hello, ma'am. Yeah.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, ma'am. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you for your wonderful speech, and really it motivates us. And I have written, actually, I'm happy in writing. And of course, you are the first person who said you need pen and pencil. Pen, pencil, and so I'm happy.
Yes.
So only few points from my end, ma'am. So I'm remarkable because professionally, I'm the first graduate in my family.
Wow,
and doing my PhD now, right now. And I finish multiple works parallelly. So I have been
You're
trained in such a way to complete multiple works parallelly, and I will complete my assigned works on time.
perfect. Amazing, amazing quality for which you can definitely stand out. Yeah.
So to achieve this, I am sincere and dedicated to my profession, and this is the last statement which I need to follow for every minute, every second to achieve all the above said points.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much, Kalpana ma'am, for sharing this with us. Indeed, that punctuality, that sincerity, that commitment which you exuberate to the work you do will definitely pay you leaps and bounds. Thank you so much, Kalpana ma'am, for volunteering and talking to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, madam.
Yeah. Can we have Dinah, please? Dinah back. Maybe if, oh yeah, Usha ma'am wants to speak.
Kindly unmute your mic and you can start your conversation.
Yes, please.
Good morning to all.
Yes,
Hello, ma'am.
we can hear you, ma'am. You can
We
proceed.
can
I'm
hear you.
from Modi College, Kota. I'm belonging from Modi College, and I am remarkable because I am taking responsibilities in each and every situation and area. Not only in the technology, in other areas also. Like at my place, at my home, I used to, I used to, I am responsible for my in-laws and for my parents, for both. I am taking responsibility for my mother and mother-in-law. And
Wow.
secondly, I am very much confident and positive. Even other person, if they want to discourage me, I always do my best, and I am very much confident in each areas. And I suffered many more, but I am still positive. Secondly, I used to love I love to taught what I have knowledge about technology. I always used to share that knowledge with the students and even other person they want to learn. So lastly, I am very much eager for learning the new technologies and other things which belongs to a different fields. Thank you, ma'am.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Usha ma'am, for sharing this with us. I can see clearly see how you're doing that balancing act with, I know as women with both managing home and
Yes, ma'am.
profession, and especially in the Indian diaspora with so many extended families, you're doing a beautiful juggling act. Great. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being with us. I saw Sandeep Saini, sir,
Thank you, ma'am.
coming on video. Thank you, Usha, ma'am. Thank you so much. Was it
Sanjay,
Sandeep
sir.
Saini, sir? Or can we have Diana or even Murgi, sir, coming back? Can I have, okay, I don't want to say that, but can I have a few male volunteers also, please? Yes. Hello. I heard somebody. Hello.
Sir, ma'am. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Anyone?
I heard somebody.
Some
wanting to
voice.
say.
Yes. See, you can unmute your mic and you can.
Yes, please. Yes.
Start the
Even if you
conversation.
don't want to come on video, it's okay. Please unmute your mic. You can just tell anything. See, friends, the reason why we are trying to ask you to share is share just one statement and see the magic it creates within yourself when you're trying to tell it out loud. So that's the purpose of this entire exercise. This exercise is meant for you when you are talking about what you did, the adrenaline rush, the hormones, what is going to support you, and the feeling what it gives. It's for that experience. Yeah. Can I have any other volunteer, please? Yeah, like I said, male volunteers. I will start picking volunteers if I don't have. Yeah.
Makindran sir, Sanjay sir, Diana ma'am, they came, but
Yes,
They are
I saw
interested in
Sanjay
typing
Saini,
in
sir.
QI.
Yes.
You
Anybody?
can unmute your mic.
Yes, please
And you can
unmute your mic and you
express,
can talk.
why you are remarkable. Any volunteers?
Not a problem, ma'am. So not a problem. I'm sure they would have had that experience. So yeah, Sanjay sir.
came, ma'am. Sanjay
Sanjay
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Namaste, sir.
Fine.
Hello. Sir, you're not audible. You're not
Sir,
audible,
your
sir.
voice is not audible, sir. No, some issues in.
Oh, okay. Oh,
mic.
okay. Maybe sir wanted to definitely share his experience, but he's just having some issue.
Now?
There is a lag. Okay. While Sanjay sir is trying that, some of you all, how did this experience feel? So this is like another set of volunteers which I'm going to ask you to speak. If anyone wants to speak or if you want to share. Yeah. Yes, Sanjay sir, you're not audible actually. So what is this exercise do to you? You know, maybe you can type in the chat box quickly for us. So next 15 minutes, next 5 minutes, let's discuss about what this experience did to you. How did you feel? Was it easy to write? Was it difficult to write? Was it, friends, let me tell you, I have done this workshop with people from many backgrounds. What I have found is, especially people coming from the academia or people who are already used to presenting, to talking, they have it easy. But the kind of world I come from is all software engineers glued to their laptop. You ask them to write 2 sentences and it was like so difficult. This was a very, very challenging exercise for me to get it done from them. So here I would like to ask you all to share your experience. What did this exercise do to you? How did writing them down make you feel about yourself? What did it do? Maybe you can just type on the chat box. Can I have single word, please? One word, this entire experience. Let's first go with a one word thing, you know, what did it make you feel? Or how is this experience? One word example, one word experience, about the experience. Quickly, let's try to compile the words and see how did it make you feel?
Happy moment, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
Ah.
Very good, very good. Can I have some words on the chat box also, please, so that let's compile all that and then talk. You can type over there. How did it make you feel? Uplifted, good, great, excellent, maybe even remarkable? One word. If I have to explain in one word about how this exercise made me feel about myself. Wow. Usha ma'am is telling great. Okay. Anybody else? Somebody else? Sanjay sir, maybe you can share your experience on the chat box because I am sure I can reach out to you on chat definitely here. Something which you're feeling about, like put it on paper or just write about how it felt. Okay. Sudha ma'am told something. How did you feel, ma'am?
Ma'am, recollecting all the good memories, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
When recollecting memory, especially we are moving to the good memories.
Yes.
Good positive events. Yeah. Feeling
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Senthil ma'am, I know you have also attended this workshop. Your experience, what do you feel after doing that exercise? Maybe it will help the volunteers or help the other participants to Open up a little bit. Joyful. Senname Selvi says joyful. Perfect. Beautiful. Kale Selvi is saying good. That's nice. That's nice. Thank you, ma'am.
I take this opportunity to express my experience, my own experience. Literally, it's my own experience. Usually, we'll be very busy in our work with kids. And literally, if you are a woman, you won't think about you. That is the true.
Excellent experience. Glana
Yes,
Jeevan
ma'am.
says. Yeah. Okay.
But if you attend this session, then you will take some 5 minutes to think about yourself. That is the exact result of this session. If you pen down to write why you are remarkable, you will collect all the things what you have achieved. The exact word is an achievement, your own life. You can feel that by that 10 minutes. Then after the 10 minutes, you think I am worth to live here. I am doing something. It is not very big. If you are mother of 2 kids, that is also an achievement.
Oh, by the way, my Instagram handle is just a mother of 2 kids. Okay.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Okay, you've seen that. Okay. So, friends, that's the experience. How does it make you feel about yourself? Motivated, uplifted, or liberated? If you see many times, like Sendil ma'am was just now telling, so many of these things is so much bottled inside. So we are like, getting liberated. Many times, see, we try to share the joyous experiences here, but when I have conducted this workshops and I have had people, especially why I ask them to share is when they're sharing, they get overwhelmed. And I have had people who have become very emotional. It has taken them through a roller coaster ride of the difficulties which they went through and how they're feeling after they shared it. Now, what happened was actually after they shared it, they felt a lot lighter. They were able to bring in acceptance to what they had gone through. And post the session, people have actually come to me and actually many times it's very difficult to speak, right? They come to me and say, thank you, ma'am, for allowing me to become vulnerable, allowing me to become emotional, allowing me to share my experience. Now I'm able to take pride in what I have been or what I am now. So that's the beauty of this workshop, friends. All that which I spoke about in the slide is the data to help you break those barriers and break those biases to come out. But this is the crux of this whole workshop. Thank you for these beautiful words everybody is using. Excellent, wonderful, joyful, good, great, motivated. These are all the kind of monologues I'm getting today from this beautiful 120 plus audience over here. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and you're giving me your time. And that's like a beautiful gift to me. To me, after every session, I also get uplifted. I also do a lot of writing. Now, what exactly happens is, one second, let me just switch my screen. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
No, ma'am, only your video is visible.
Now?
No, ma'am.
Oh, no. Okay. I think I have to do a present now.
Yes, you have to present it, ma'am.
Okay. So this is what we are trying to talk about, friends. How did it make feel? How did it feel like to say it loud, right? That's a very difficult task for us to do. And many times when somebody else was sharing their experience, were you all ears to it? Were you supportive to it?
Okay.
Hello?
Say, kindly mute your mics.
Yeah. So, and at the same time, let's just ponder over these points where have we been comfortable sharing these things in the past? Well, although it may be about workplace, but just look at it like maybe amongst our friends in our families, where we able to share it, where we able to tell it. So these are a few points I would recommend you to ponder over through the next few minutes, hours, days, months. How much ever you do it, it's not enough. I just request others to please mute yourself because there's a lot of feedback and noise coming at the back. So appreciate you muting. Yeah. Okay. We spoke so much, but then let's even go back to a little bit of jargons over here. Why does all this matter? Okay. How if you just wondered, see this workshop, no, mostly what happens is everybody says, okay, this is meant for women or this is meant for marginalized people or underrepresented people. Why I say that it is recommended for everybody is because maybe you are a person who is already possessing these skills, but this is kind of an eye-opener for you to become sensitized, to become empathetic, to become compassionate to your colleagues or to your friends, to your family members who's struggling with things like these. Okay. So what you can do, people who are already possessing some of these skills, what can you do? What can you offer? You can give attributes correctly. You can attribute the ideas correctly. I'll come to this point. You can acknowledge their accomplishments and ask probing questions. What I mean by that is, like I said, I love explaining with examples. Now, I had created this new team and I had this member who joined my team. What happened was many of them had doubts in even selecting her because she was an amazing, excellent coder. Very beautiful with her data structures and algorithm skills. She struggled with talking. She struggled with communicating. And when she did not answer a couple of questions in the interview, she actually started crying in the interview itself. Okay. She had her own share of struggles because it was more than a year she did not get a job. And primarily she was saying, I was always tanking in this last round, which was about interpersonal skills. But I believed in the potential she had, and I just thought, let me take a different route. I will still push for her candidature and hire. And what happened was, graciously, my manager supported me in that, and he said, okay, if you are hiring them, if I'm going to hire them, I'm going to again put her in your team. It's left up to you how you are going to train her, mentor her, coach her, take work from her and all that. I was a little bit, to me also it was a challenge, but I still believed in my guts and I actually hired her. She proved to be such an amazing asset to me in driving my team's duties, where I could easily and with a lot of trust, I could offload assignments to her. That was, she started becoming an asset to the company. But yes, she still struggled with talking about what she did or how she did. Even I used to have this thing of taking daily status. Even there, she'll not be able to tell what she did. She will just tell in one sentence. But to achieve that task, she would have done so much of research, spent hours in the night, which I knew, but she would not tell. But I used to do this as a conscious exercise so that talking becomes her natural self. And what I did next was, whenever I was trying to report to my manager, I used to tell her name and say, she did this, she did this, she helped me in this, and she helped me in doing that. So that way, I was now attributing my ideas also very clearly to my manager on one side that, yes, I believe in this resource, let's hire this person. Next is, I was actually acknowledging all the activities she was doing. I was not giving, when I say ask probing questions, we have this way of saying, we did it, no? We have this way of saying, we all together did it. We are very modest in telling that, right? No, be very specific, okay? Ask probing questions. When somebody said we, try and understand who all were part of it. Try and understand who contributed in which way. And when you say people's name, no, we all love hearing our names, right? So when you're attributing their accomplishments to themselves, they feel uplifted. They feel more inclusive, right? I don't know, most of you would have, just as an example, I'm trying to quote here. This is a conscious exercise I brought in for myself also. So if you had attended my cloud computing session, there in the end, I actually thanked Sendil Vadivu ma'am and even the IT personnel who was here. I was thanking each and every individual rather than just saying the entire team which is helping in putting this FTV workshop, right? So I'm sure when I quoted ma'am's name separately, there was a smile on her face and it felt her more accomplished. She would have felt relieved. Okay, all my efforts which I'm putting is paid off, right? So friends, please ask probing questions, acknowledge people's accomplishments. This will help us and even our workplace, our environment a lot better. When I'm telling workplace, please don't restrict there. Let's extend it even to families. It may be very simple things also, okay? Maybe your spouse helped in clearing the laundry, or maybe your spouse helped in cleaning a shelf or cleaning this one. Tell it out loudly. Thank them. Tell them. So that is going to create a lot of magic. Most of these things we actually take it for granted, right? But then if you just tell, maybe somebody cooked a dish which was really good and you enjoyed it. Maybe you can tell that, give that credit to them. Be thankful. So that will take a long, long way in building relationships and at the same time helping your persona shape up. What can we do to develop this? See, one thing is anything which is related to wellness or well-being doesn't happen in a 2-hour session or in a 1 day's time, right? All of you all are where you are because of the consistent methodical practice which you would have done. So it goes without saying, practice makes perfect. So I'm sure you will agree with that. I might have asked you to write this exercise for 10 minutes now. When I attended this workshop, like I told you, I was in my lowest point for whatever reason. I don't even remember why it was that day. And when the person asked me to talk about my accomplishments, I actually choked. And you might be wondering, is this the person who choked that day? Yes, I choked. I actually choked. I was overwhelmed and maybe even a little emotional, where I felt I was worthless, what I'm doing here and all that. And I'm feeling very happy that I attended the workshop when I was in my lowest point, because it helped me build a perspective. But what I did is I carried the lessons out, and although I did not speak up that day, I did a practice every day. I used to, maybe whenever I'm doing lazily, you do certain things very involuntarily, right? Like maybe when you're cooking or when you are bathing, when you are folding clothes, when you are, so many things you do lazily. But my mind would keep working. I used to keep saying, I am remarkable because, and I used to tell many simple things also, like let's take a case like, I am a person who has always grown up in a very large city in apartment kind of cultures where I have not been very close to having pets or things like that. And I had my own fears with pets also, fears in the sense like I used to love pets as long as it is somebody else's, but I used to feel like if I have pets, I have more work to do. But this 2 years of pandemic, kids are in the home, they are so locked up, they want something new. And my family introduced pets to them. They actually brought these pair of ducks and some guineas, and hence initially you can imagine how my reaction will be. I just went off. Oh my God, I'm already so much overwhelmed with kids at home, with work to do, with home. How can I even manage this? But then, yes, slowly I accepted that rewarding feeling of when you go and try to feed these birds, how much they run and come to you, that suddenly kindled a motherly kind of instinct, okay? And they were actually looking up to me. And they knew, okay, this is the person who's coming and feeding me, right? And Indian culture, right? How much we, I don't know, we say that, Annam Parabrahma Swarupam, we say, and Annadanam Mahadanam. So I used to start feeling and relating like, okay, these pets, are actually looking up to me, and they started becoming very close. Okay.
Following of the topics
Ma'am, can you please mute yourself? Can you please mute yourself, ma'am? Sendil ma'am? Sendil ma'am, can you please mute yourself? Okay. Yeah. So suddenly I became a very pet person.
NITPI account.
Sendil ma'am, can you please go on mute? Sendil ma'am?
Ma'am muted, ma'am muted.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because I was hearing your voices. Yeah. Okay. So I suddenly became a pet person. So then I told myself one day, I'm remarkable because now I'm a pet parent. I'm not just a pet person, I'm a pet parent, right? So start giving attributes to yourself. Practice this exercise diligently every day, every hour, or set a time for yourself, maybe morning or maybe afternoon. Maybe you want to take a break from your busy schedule. You allocate 10 minutes and please write for that day, write for your past. And I even extended it, for I even encourage you to start taking it with your kids. If you have kids who can write on their own, maybe an 8-year-old or anybody above 8-year-old or 10-year-old, sit with them and try and give this exercise to them. They will also be able to appreciate themselves so well. And whatever you write, don't be critical about it, okay? Whatever you write, don't be critical. There are days when we don't have anything. There are days when I have told that I am remarkable because I allowed my kids to be themselves today. My kids had actually made a mess of the home, okay? But then kids are kids. That's how they will be. So I am remarkable for allowing to be themselves. So that is also remarkable. So it's not big achievements or small achievements. It's simply achievements. So please follow this exercise. Allow yourself every day, maybe 10 minutes, morning, evening, night. If you're a morning person, morning. If you want to close your day with this, close it. If you just want to take a break between your busy schedule, maybe afternoon 2 o'clock suits you, please do it. But write. Take a pen and paper and write. Not type. Take it and write. Then stand in front of a mirror and tell it out loud. You will see a remarkable change. Trust me, friends, I did it for almost close to 3 months and I saw a sea change in the way I'm doing things. Okay. So not just that, extend it a little bit more. Please track all your achievements, small achievements, big achievements. If you think you can make 2 different baskets, okay, in your that's this beautiful achievements jar concept. Okay, if you have a glass jar or these piggy banks, write your small achievements in small sheets and put it in that, and big ones in this one. Or if you have a dedicated book, you write your achievements in that. Write every achievement. I'll tell you why. The reason is if you write something, it stays. Otherwise, you will forget. Okay. Let me give you a case here. There is a research which was done by McKinsey and Company, and they came to see that women do not apply for a job if they do not meet at least 80% of the job description criteria. Okay. And men will apply for the same job even if they meet 40% of the job description criteria. Okay. See, that's the kind of imposter syndrome we all suffer from, where we think, am I good enough for that? But why we were not able to reason that is because we do not have data with us to substantiate it and motivate us. Now, what happens when you start writing about your achievements and if you track it is, say when an opportunity is coming up in front of you, you have your logbook where you can actually go and see and review it and think, okay, maybe I'm good with this. Maybe I can take up this assignment. Maybe I can do this. So this tracking achievements concept will definitely help you. So keep a log of all your accomplishments so that you have it ready whenever it's needed. Of course, When you share your accomplishments in the real professional situation, you get a chance to even review it and you get a chance to even improve it. Initially, maybe you can start giving yourself small goals for self-promotion, but start nurturing it. See, there is this beautiful statement, no? We say grass is greener on the other side of the fence. No, I'll try to rephrase this. Grass is greener where you nurture it. Okay, say if you have a patch of grass and there is one spot only, if you're going to go on watering, wouldn't that be greener? The rest may dry up eventually. So it's the same case here too. Grass is greener where you nurture it. So you nurture these, you nurture your self-promotion skills slowly maybe, slowly you start doing it. I'm sure with time you will find your self doing it better wherever it is needed. Of course, see, friends, one thing you must understand. When I'm talking about self-promotion, there is no standard fixed statement or standard fixed two-page we write where we go somewhere and we simply rut it out over there. Be sensitive and mindful of the audience and understand them. Okay. That time what happens is, you will tell the right achievement points over there. Like say, take the case of you are now in a family function. There you cannot, it doesn't matter if you go there and say, I got 90% review from my manager, or I got 90% review from my students. It did not matter there. There, probably if it's your, the older folk you are meeting or something, maybe you can say, see, this is a very traditional dish and I actually tried it out recently. It came out well. Maybe I can use your tips over there. So you track your achievement that some dish you prepared and it came out very well. And there they also now recognize you for your culinary skills, right? And at the same time, if somebody is asking you, what are the achievements you have had in the past days in your job interview, you cannot talk about, I tried to prepare this dish and it came out well, right? So there you need to choose which achievements you have. So jot out everything and choose your audience where you need to tell. So self-promotion skills you definitely need to do in both personal life and in professional life, but choose your audience, pick your achievements, what you want to talk about. So that's what I'll tell. And yes, take it step forward and stretch your goals. Fine. Now, as much as what I've been talking about, let's look at this very beautiful slide. If you remember, I said it's not bragging if it's heavily supported by data. What exactly this workshop has created as an impact in the past? Okay, so if you see, there have been at least 300,000 workshop participants ever since it was started in 2016. And there are at least 40,000 plus active facilitators who are trying to facilitate this workshop. And it has spread its message in at least 150 plus countries in the past. Now, as a result of attending this workshop, what has happened? At least 82% of the people who have attended this workshop feel very, very, very confident. At least 89% of them are actually now self-promoting more often. See, basically self-promotion means you tailor-make what you're talking. When you're talking to people, small things, so things you tell them, okay? You bring in a way of telling it. And at least close to 50% people, 49%, experienced a job change or a job growth in the profession which they were handling. Some people even said that they suddenly got the courage to switch jobs into a different domain. And some people even said they were able to bring in the courage to follow their dreams. When I say follow their dreams, sometimes it's, these passions and these hobbies which we find very difficulty in following, maybe for want of various reasons, financial reasons, economic reasons, all that. But then, that's your true calling. You know that you can contribute better over there, right? For example, if you had seen that movie called Three Idiots, and in Tamil it's called Nanban, there is this person who is who's made to going through the engineering course, but his true calling is photography. We simply feel like, okay, maybe it will not give an economic security or something. But finally, he took courage, he spoke up, he realized that that's my true potential, and he went there. And if they're following their passion, maybe they achieve large, more greater heights and immense self-satisfaction also, right? So this is the kind of results we see post this workshop from people. So friends, what you could do is you can spread this word, share this word, probably even join I Am Remarkable on the LinkedIn groups and in Instagram groups, wherever they are. You can form your own group to promote this exercise. If you have this WhatsApp group for some time, maybe you can choose Wednesdays to share your achievements. Why Wednesdays? Studies have shown that Wednesday is the most dullest day of the week because Mondays you're on a high, you're ready to work, and close to Fridays and Saturdays you're already ready to close the shop for. So both these days you are in your best spirits. It's Mondays when you are the lowest. So it's prescribed for Mondays to call it as Remarkable Wednesdays and share your experiences or your if you are going to have a group of your own, your cohort of your own, do this. Encourage each other to share. Tell statements. You know, in one of the workshops which I conducted on a Wednesday, one of the participants said, I am remarkable today because I allowed my daughter to wear her princess dress for 3 days. When you look back, you might feel how lame. It's very easy for us to name it like that. No, how lame? What's the big deal about it? But then when you ponder it back, as a parent, she allowed her child to be what she is. She allowed the child to stay happy, joyous, and at the same time, both were their authentic selves. So that is enough to be remarkable, right? So no achievement or no point which you're going to say whether it's going to make you remarkable or not is a small thing or a big thing or a lame thing or an effective thing. Everything is valid. So stay connected with your friends who practice this, support each other, encourage each other. So with these words, I would like to come to the end of this session, ma'am. Friends, once again, thank you for giving me your time, staying with me in this remarkable journey and experience and allowing me to walk you through this experience. Sindel ma'am, back to you, please.
Yes, ma'am. Participants, anything you want to discuss with ma'am or you want to convey, you can. So, ma'am, about that feedback link you want to get, you can.
Yeah, okay. So few of them who spoke today, I will send you another survey link or a feedback link. Anybody else who would want the survey link also, please let on the WhatsApp group or something to ma'am. For them, we will send a survey link because that is for people who have usually spoken up, who have been able to share their experience. This feedback link will be for this workshop here, ma'am. So there is another survey link which we sent from Google itself. So if any of you are willing to have that link, maybe you can drop a message to Sendil ma'am and she will send you how to do that and how to enter that survey as well. Because in that survey, when you're writing, you will need to write my name correctly and my facilitator ID correctly. So she will share it with you. So those of you who wish to fill in that details, please send a unicast message to ma'am or however you all reach out in your channel. Will that be okay, ma'am? Sendil ma'am, for you?
Yeah, ma'am. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'll let them know it, ma'am. I'll insist them and I'll get it back.
Yes, yes, yes. Whoever is interested. Yes.
Can we conclude the session, ma'am?
Yeah. There are a couple of videos also which are related to this workshop, like how it is giving as an impact to people and everybody. So those links I can send you on. You can even just simply check I Am Remarkable website. So you will see a lot of content, a lot of videos where people share their experiences and where people tell what is the impact it has had on their organizations at large. Unilever is a champion in promoting this workshop. So you can see a lot of data over there. Merkel is another company who's promoting this a lot in the company circles. So you can take it forward even in your organizations, in your colleges. Make it maybe part of your students' activities. As part of their I don't know how you have it, some personality development for them, so that it gives them a better chance to be able to talk in their placements. So these are some of my ideas, personal ideas though. So from here on, my job is actually done. It was my job to take you till here, but how you take it further is left to you all. So go to the website, please check a lot of it. There's a lot of information on this in LinkedIn and everywhere. Okay, so I'll give a few links, and maybe ma'am will post it on the on your WhatsApp group, so you can see that too. Once again, thank you, friends, for being with me, and Senthil ma'am and everybody else too.
Thank you.
And yeah, of course,
Can we
and all the
have
back
one
end.
photo, ma'am?
Yes, please, definitely.
Yes.
I would love to.
Participants,
Hello, Poonam ma'am. I
kindly
see you.
request you to switch on your camera. Ma'am, you can stop your presentation, ma'am, so that it will be visible. Okay.
Okay. I stopped. Can you
Yeah,
see,
now
ma'am?
it is visible, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm seeing many people now. Shruti ma'am, Anil Kumar Naidu sir, yeah, Saha sir, Gayatri ma'am, Mona ma'am, Usha Jain ma'am. Nice to see you.
So I'll take.
Yeah.
Thank you, participants. Some more. Okay. Yes, I have taken it, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for your.
Okay, from my side too, I just took one, so you can just see it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, thank you, Juray.
Okay, ma'am, I'll conclude.
Thank you, Rosemary. Everybody, thank you for coming on video and being with me today. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
please conclude, ma'am. Yeah,
Thank
maybe
you,
I just stepped in a few more minutes.
Ma'am, thank you so
sorry
much, ma'am, for this wonderful session. It is very remarkable session to us. Thank you, ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, let me conclude the session.
Yeah, ma'am.
I am a passionate, creative human. I don't have all the answers, but I know my worth. It took me a long time to accept me for who I am. I will not tolerate being around anyone who makes me feel anything less. I am unique. I am special. I am me. And finally, now I am remarkable. On behalf of Computer Science Engineering, NIT Puducherry, I extend my thank to Miss Vaishnavi ma'am for making us to feel that we are remarkable. Everyone will accept this, I think, ma'am. The participants, you might have felt that in this 2 hours of session with ma'am. Thank you so much for your valuable time, ma'am, for your workshop.
My pleasure.
It means a lot to everyone here. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is ours, ma'am, to being with you for this 2 hours.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. Likewise. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we leave, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can mind.
Okay. Thank you,
ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Thank you, ma'am.
Participants, the online assessment will be conducted from 2:30 p.m. to 3:50. It consists of only 30 MCQs. That is very basic from SAOT and IIoT. Then by evening 4 o'clock, we'll be having a validatory function. Before validatory function, we'll be updating your attendance and mark in the Atal website. You can clarify it through the Atal website. If you have any issues, you can come back to me through that WhatsApp group or my personal chat.
Ma'am, is it possible to increase the timing of the test?
Sir, just 30 questions, sir. That is some basic MCQs only, sir. 45 minutes is more than enough, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So if you are not able to come for the exam today, you are supposed to write it on tomorrow morning. If it is so, you just post your name in that WhatsApp group so that we can consolidate that list and we can send the link by tomorrow morning if you have any urgent work.
Okay, ma'am.
I think we can connect back by 2:15 in the same link so that it will be easier to conduct the assessment. We'll meet after the break. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence all these 4-5 days. Your active participation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, Sendilvidi ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Pleasure is mine. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Kalachari, ma'am. Thank you.